Hi, I'm Michael Strong from Michael Strong Rubber Stamps. Today we're going to do a little hot wiring. Don't worry, your cars are safe. We're just going to use a great new, hot, fun tool, which I found. We're going to make some cool stuff, and we're also going to do a scrapbook page. So come on back and we'll play. So this is the Super Hotwire foam cutter from Marvy Uchida. It's my favorite new tool. I know I always say that, but really this one is a lot of fun. So I want to show you all the different features it has. It comes with a handy little handle that you can carry it around with. You can plug it in at home. If you want to take it with you on the road, you can use the batteries. And let me show you how it works. It's got the armature that you raise here. This is the cutting element, the little hot wire. It's very hot, so I recommend that you don't let the kids play with it. This is really an adult tool. We'll have this little knob on the side that you can adjust the wire tension with. We want it tight enough. We'll turn it on, and it becomes hot instantly, so keep your fingers away from it. Conversely, it cools off right away too. Now, to make a precision cut, I'm going to use my metal edge ruler. So I'm going to slide it in, and I'm going to use this nice measuring guide that they provided right onto the base. So I'll put my ruler in. I'm going to line it up with the 1-inch mark. Now normally I'd be using the white foam, but for the camera purpose I want you to be able to see it really well, so we'll use the green. Now I'm going to line it up against the straight edge and just move it through the wire. And you can see how easily that cuts, and if you've ever cut styrofoam at home, you know what a mess it is. And this is anything but a mess. It's nice and clean, and it gives you a precise cut, as you can see. So I've drawn the letter D on the top of this block. You can see that it's pretty tall. The wire is actually about 5 inches tall, so it'll accommodate a 5-inch square block. So what I'm going to do is show you how it does the curves. So you just guide the wire along the line that I've drawn on the top of the block. Now if you don't like to draw yourself, you can also just add a stencil on the top, a paper stencil, and use that as your guide. You can see that I'm just going right along here, cutting the foam. It's really fun, and you can hear it kind of sizzling because it's melting the foam as we go. All right, now I'm going to pull away this part that I've just cut. Now I'm going to cut out the center next, and to do that, I'm going to cut through the foam and then to the line that I'm cutting. So you just follow it along. Now, be patient with it. Let it do its job. Don't pull it too hard because you don't want to pull the wire off of the armature. Just let it go. Now, the center that I cut just slides right out. So here's my D. Now if I want a whole bunch of these, I'm going to turn it the other way. Turn it back on, bring up my straight edge, and start slicing. The nice thing about this is every letter that I cut is going to be identical. You can see how that works. Really cool. Now this is some packing material that was protecting some products that we bought at home, and it also is the foam material, and the foam cutter works great on this too. And I would much rather play with this with my new tool than to toss it into the landfill. So what I like to do is cut them up into usable pieces, and when I say usable pieces, I mean flat pieces like this. And I just want to show you how fun it is to cut freeform designs with this. This cuts very smoothly. Let's make an amoeba. That's a fun thing to do. And we'll turn it off and just push that right out. You can see how that looks. So what I can do with this also is make some letters out of it. So here's one that I made out of the same material, and I used the Marvy Uchida DecoColor duos for this. And you can see that these markers just work great on styrofoam. They accept the color perfectly. There's no blotchiness. And another thing I like about these pens is they don't smell. You know, some of those markers are hard to use because they have such a strong odor. These don't have that. The other thing I like about these is they unscrew in the middle, and you can add a second color. Say you're doing something Christmassy, you want red and green together. Now you've got your green pen and your red pen ready to go. Now I did promise you a scrapbook page, so I want to show you what we're going to do for that. I'm using the foam again, the white foam. So what the things I like about this kind of foam is it's really sparkly. It's almost like ice. So I thought, well, let's make some ice cubes out of it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to turn the foam cutter back on, bring in my ruler, and I'm going to lay the ruler at the 1-inch mark because this is a 1-inch tall block also. So we're going to go ahead and slice through, and what I'm going to end up with is a 1-inch square piece of foam. Now I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to make the ruler closer about, I'd say a 1/4 inch from the wire. And what that's going to do is make a little flat ice cube. It'll look great on a page. It'll still look like ice, but of course it'll be flat. All right, now let me show you how I applied them to the page. So I've nearly completed my page, and what we're going to do is add the cocktail glass in. So I'm using some acetate. I'm just going to lay that right on my page. I'm using some translucent vellum for the liquid inside, and then I cut a diagonal at the top just to show the glass is tipped. For the straw, I used some of the background paper, just cut it into a strip, and then here comes our great ice cubes that we made with the Marvy cutter. So we'll just add those in. Of course, you can add these in with any kind of adhesive you like, whatever works for you, but just kind of randomly put them inside like that. And man, this is making me thirsty now. I want something to drink. All right, so we're going to finish the glass off with another piece of acetate, and the little pieces of adhesive will be on top of the cubes, and it'll hold that all nicely in place. So I'll show you the rest of this page in a minute, but in the meantime, I want to show you another cool thing that this foam cutter makes. You know, I'm a rubber stamper, so what did I make? Foam stamps. Really cool. Now I'm going to make a card. I've already done it here, but I want to show you that I've used the home decor markers to color in, and what is nice about these is you can dab on some color and it puddles up, and it gives you plenty of time to ink and to stamp. You can see how I've used this little heart to stamp this card. Really fun, really easy to do, and you can make any kind of stamp you want. Now let me show you how the finished page turned out and all the other cool things I made. And here's that finished card. You can see the foam made a beautiful texture onto it. That was a little extra added bonus, which I didn't know I was going to get. So I really like that. Now here's the finished page. What I did was add a bunch of personality, I guess you'd say, with the bubbles coming out of the glass and kind of migrating all over the page. Now, in addition to the page, you can see the other goodies that I have on the table. I made a frame for a picture of a koala, which my daughter's kids are studying about in school right now. And I just used that block idea, drew a leaf onto the block, sliced it through, and got about 30 or so leaves out of that. Here are those letters that I used the markers on. This little frame is really cute, I think. I used the freeform idea with the foam cutter to make the hearts and just glue them all on a little frame. And here you can see how delicate you can get with the foam cutter, because I made very thin seaweed to decorate this card. Another wreath over here, just cutting a big block of flowers and getting lots of slices out of that. I hope I've inspired you with some of these ideas to go out and cut some foam yourself. I know you'll come up with something great. And I'll see you next time.
For step-by-step instructions on how to create this week's project, download the design guide featuring special make-it-your-own bonus tips.